Hi guys, welcome to the Sports Bets Daily Show. Today is Wednesday. Weekend is approaching, and we have four tournaments going on right now on the ATP and WTA tennis. And we are starting with Snice who is our specialist on tennis. Today I'm your host, not regular, but today I'm replacing Natalie. Hope I will do a good job. Hope you will enjoy the show. So let's start with tennis. Hi, Snice. Welcome to the show, mate.
Thank you. Cheers. Nice to have Alex here as a host. We can terrorize him about Halep crashing out of the Roland Garros or something.
No.
Yeah,
Don't tell me
I think
about that.
we will do
No,
well
no.
here.
Let's not talk about that because I will get mental again with that. I don't know. Well deserved from Anisimova, if you ask me. Very well deserved. I placed a bet on Anisimova at 5.25, and I won. I went against Halep. My wife said to me, "You are crazy. Just because of you, she's losing the match. You must be ashamed of yourself."
Yeah,
Yeah.
for
So
sure, for
now
sure.
the clay season is over, and the grass season is here. But many tournaments delays, rain, a lot of rain. Some tournaments went indoor, after that back outside. What is happening, guys? Nice.
Yeah, the grass season is upon us. This is where the big service, the John Isners, the Kevin Andersons, Raonic, they start rubbing their hands together and lick their
Karlovic.
lips and be like, "Yes, grass." It's obviously the fastest surface on tour. So a lot of tie breaks, a lot of serves uh, are expected. But yeah, weather has been crazy all over Europe. Most of these tournaments, if not all of them, have been experiencing rain delays almost every single day. And yeah, as you touched upon that, we will get to that. In Nottingham, in particular, it's been a torrential downpour for 3 straight days. So both the Challenger event and the WTA events, they've moved indoors. Uh,
Mhm.
so obviously some huge confusion there. You don't really know until the day the match is going to be played, if they're going to play on grass or not. So you better be looking at the weather forecasts like crazy now, because definitely has a huge effect on all of these matches.
Yeah, I am following you on Twitter every day. So today you posted two matches, and after 7 minutes you said back back inside because rain started again. Yeah, it's very tough to bet on the grass season with the weather changing so much, because many of the competition will happen in England, of course, in UK, and as expected, every day. Maybe it will rain, maybe it will not. The weather forecast is not 100% accurate, as we already know that. But thank God, Wimbledon has a closed stadium, has a closed court. So I don't think that we'll see many delays there. But do you think that they will finish on time this for tournaments?
Well, that will be a challenge as it looks right now. I'm thinking especially Stuttgart and Hertogenbosch, they've been fine. They've had some minor delays, some hours here and there. They'll finish on time. But Nottingham, this is Wednesday now, and they're starting today, and they should have started 2 days ago. Uh, so it'll be a
Wow.
big challenge there to actually wrap up the tournament, because they have also got challengers ongoing, and if it's gonna rain, they only have a few courts indoors uh, that they have to share between the ATP and the WTA. Huge tournament there. So I'd say Nottingham is in danger of not finishing on time. I've looked at the weather forecast. It is still typical English. It's gonna rain a lot. Gonna rain all week. So yeah, I'd be worried for Nottingham.
Do you think that the favorites will be affected, and they will not give 100%? They will say just like that, let's get on with it, let's lose quick because I don't have time for this crap. Something like that?
I mean, we've seen a few names withdraw again, particularly Nottingham, uh, and a lot of players obviously went deep in the French Open. It's the week after the Slam, so for a lot of players, there are, different motivations. Some perhaps don't like to play on grass as they do on clay. So yeah, definitely motivation plays a huge part here, for sure. A couple of motivated players would obviously be Donna Vekic. She won the event in Nottingham in 2017. Number 1 seed Carolina Garcia. I would say those are the two names there who would not withdraw. They're looking good. Over in Hertogenbosch, Kiki Bertens is playing in her home tournament. After withdrawing from Roland Garros, she was ill there. So she should be highly motivated to go far here. If you look at the men's side, Stuttgart draw is loaded. We've got Alexander Zverev accepted a late wild card here, playing at home, obviously. We've got Medvedev, Raonic, Kachanov, Struff, Monfils. So a ton of players there who will be wanting to make an impression. And on the men's side in the Netherlands, we got number 1 seed Stefanos Tsitsipas, we got Gasquet, Pierre Huguet, Herbert, Choric. So yeah, a ton of names to look out for sure.
Okay, let's start with ATP Stuttgart Mercedes Open. As you said, Alexander Zverev here, great, huge favorite, number 1 seeded. But we have interesting names. Tomorrow he will play Brown. After that, if he qualifies in the quarterfinals, I'm sure that Auger Aliassime will give him some headaches. Also, Raonic there against Fucsovic in the quarterfinals is an interesting match. What are we looking at? Also Kachanov. What are you looking at in terms of futures, like winner of the tournament? And after that, we will go into the best selections.
Yeah, as I said earlier, you touched upon this Stuttgart draw here is loaded. We've got a lot of top tier players that are going to play here. And the future value, I think, is mostly gone now. The name I was looking at a bit was Marton Fucsovic. He likes faster surfaces. He's pretty good on grass. He's obviously going to face Raonic next. So that's also a name. I would definitely not be backing Alexander Zverev. This is his 11th straight week playing tennis. And I mean, at some point he's got to run out of gas. So I would look at, I'm going to see if I can find the prices real quick here, what we have for the current prices on the outrights in Stuttgart. If they are on, yeah, they're of course closed, they're still playing. But I would definitely look towards, I would say Milos Raonic and Daniil Medvedev would be the two to look out for there.
Okay, I see that. So it's better for you in this tournament to take it step by step and to look at the matches, right?
Mm-hmm. I think so. Yeah, it's a bit difficult to cap these right after the slams because it's hard to know where the players are at mentally and physically. So usually, if you don't take, I would take a big priced, a few long shots before the tournament starts, and then I'd see how it goes from there.
For example, Alexander Zverev, who played in the French Open, and he arrived till the quarterfinals, but many sets there. Do you think that he is fully fit to play Stuttgart now on grass?
I mean, Zverev is a physical specimen. He is really fit. But still, as I said, this is the 11th straight week he's playing tennis. Had 2 tough 5-setters in Roland Garros. There's just so much tennis in the legs of him. So sooner or later, he will be tired. So I'm not sure if he's going to feel it now in Stuttgart or if he's going to feel it later on. But I think the backlash will come eventually if he keeps pushing himself like this.
Okay, we have a question from chat because we have 2 segments and we have plenty of time to run through everything. Expecting any upsets today in tennis? Ankit Shah is asking this. I don't know how many matches are going on today, but I will ask Snais about tomorrow if he's expecting any upsets.
Yeah, just looking across the card, most of the matches have looking like they've finished. So there's not that much left today. I think Robin Haase at home in the Netherlands could be one to upset Christian Garin. They're playing right now. He's very good. He's very dangerous on grass early in the season. Adapts well to the surface. And Garin has only played, I think this is the 5th match ever he has played that's not on clay, a main tour match. He's inexperienced in these situations. So definitely, if that match goes on there, I think Haase has a good chance of turning it around. And then looking at tomorrow, that's where it gets juicy.
Sorry, before that, it's an important match going on right now. Cacciano versus Berrettini, and failed at live 666. Very interesting nickname on our chat. Is asking, should we take Medvedev live right now after he lost the first set?
Yes, I would say so. I'm on Medvedev in a parlay together with Struff to win his match from earlier today. He lost
Struff
the first set in a
won?
tiebreak, and I would definitely play him to get back and take down Luca Pouille. I think he's really good on grass. The surface is made for him, and his flat ground strokes. Pouille is a bit up and down, so I definitely give him the edge, and I expect him to come through in a tough one here.
So Kachanov price now at live?
It's Medvedev, not Kachanov, and it's at right now 275.
Medvedev.
Yeah, 275 right now at Bet365.
275 right now at Bet365. Absolutely great price. Let's jump on it. Not a lot. I would say half unit on that, not more, because you never know on grass what is happening. Moving forward, so your best place for tomorrow for Stuttgart?
Got a big match. Zverev is running into a nightmare opponent in the first round here. Probably as bad as it can get in an ATP 250. He's gonna face Dustin Brown, the German qualifier, who's most famously known.
The showman.
Sorry. Most famously known for beating Rafael Nadal twice. He's the only player active on the tour who has a positive head-to-head win record versus Nadal if they've played at least 2 games. He's 2-0 versus Nadal, 2-0. Beat him in Halle 2014 and at Wimbledon in 2015. And grass is his best surface, has a huge serve, loves rushing to the net, has incredibly skilled hands there. And obviously he's in good form now. He's on a roll. He's already won 3 matches here. And Zverev comes in straight off a Roland Garros. So it'll be a very tough match. So I've actually gone ahead and played over 23.5 games. That's available at 2.02. Both these players have huge serves. It would be a surprise if we see anything but closely contested sets or tie breaks in this match. So even if it goes in 2 sets, we should get over the line. And I've also gone ahead and put a unit on Brown to win this match. Like I said, Zverev has played a lot of tennis recently. He still hasn't found his very, very best tennis. And in this form, Dustin Brown is right now on his best surface. He can definitely upset him.
Our colleague and a very good friend and great football capper and absolutely amazing writer, Martin Green, is asking you to give him a plus handicap. Dustin Brown. I think that right now the plus handicaps is with value is at plus 3.5 games, which is around 1.7. Do you think that he is capable of covering that handicap?
I definitely think he is. Like I said, he has a huge serve, and on grass, break opportunities will be few and far between. But the reason I went with the over instead is just because if Zverev really gets going and firing, which he can do in certain sets when he just like turns it on and just blazes, he could blitz through a set like 6-2, and then the spread would be in danger. And then obviously Brown can still win a set in a tiebreak, for example, and then we'd get the over, but not the spread. So that's the reason I've gone with the over instead. because I can't see a match playing out where we don't get either two close sets or us going all the way in a free setter.
Yeah, I think that is the smart thing to do. Don't play the handicap, play the overline. So that's it with Stuttgart. We are
No.
going.
We are not done
No,
yet.
no. That is not it with Stuttgart. Night has more
Yeah.
stuff to offer us, like always.
More bets. In another match in Stuttgart, we have a battle between Karen Khachanov and Matteo Berrettini. Two players that have huge serves, huge ground strokes. They can really just rip that ball in 130 something kilometers per hour for winners, over 200 kilometers per hour on the serves. Berrettini looked very, very good in dispatching Nick Kyrgios in straight sets. In dominant fashion there. I was impressed with that performance, and he can play on grass if he's in form. Khachanov is obviously the onslaught favorite here, but I think this is a very close match, and right now I would give the edge to Berrettini. So I've taken him to win at 215. So that is that for Stuttgart.
That is a good price. Before going to Herzogenbosch in the Netherlands, Joao Pereira, one of our friends from the chat, is saying that grass is boring. I don't know your feeling about grass, but I know that clay is your favorite surface. What do you think about grass, and how in the you are more successful on clay, as I know, but your numbers on grass are leveling year after year with the clay court?
Yeah, I'd say clay is my favorite surface. Not too bad on grass either. As for my personal thoughts on the surface, I think the rallies are a bit monotonous, a bit boring. You seldom get long rallies. Often the points are decided by a huge first serve, you can't get it back into play, or they just come to the net and finish the point. I don't like the way the grass courts tear down over time. You'd get brown spots as you play more and more on the surface, which become quite annoying for the players and for the fans alike. It's also a very slippery surface. It's easy to slip on grass, so you got to be careful so you don't injure yourself, especially when it's raining.
Also, many people are saying that Wimbledon in the second week is turning from grass to clay. And we know that that is very, very real, because the grass doesn't last long at that level of amazingly in the first round. After that, little by little, it will disappear from the court.
Just answering a few questions here. Martin Green, he asks if I don't think Zverev can win, and obviously he definitely can, and he should beat Brown. But if he's not at his best, and with Brown playing inspired tennis right now, I think the value is on him, so that's why I've gone with it. Obviously, only a small bet on the money line though. And yeah, Swapre is saying here, grass isn't boring, but it's easy to predict grass matches. I would tend to agree there. Definitely, obviously, a lot of games go long, a lot of serves, so you're usually pretty well set there.
Okay, that's it for Stuttgart. We are going in the Netherlands, and we have ATP Herzogenbosch. We have a great expert on our team, Joao, who is writing amazing articles for us at oddsmarket.com. So please visit Oddsmarket and read his articles. Absolutely amazing record with Roland Garros. I think that he had around 72% after my calculations, because I was on every single bet from Oddsmarket for Joao. And today I was reading his article about Herzogenbosch. He was saying that David Goffin at 8.0 with Bet365 is a great approach for a future market on this tournament. You specified Herbert earlier when we previewed a little bit of the tournaments, and surprise, Goffin is head-to-head with Herbert tomorrow, and his price very low, Joao was saying that it's great bet for an Aka bet for an accumulator parlay. Go fun to win at 1.4, and he's going further by saying that Go fun, former finalist here in the Netherlands, has huge chances, great chances to not huge to win this tournament. What do you think about that?
Very obviously, David Goffin is a very, very exciting player to watch when he's at his best. He's a great mover around court, can hit the ball extremely sweetly. He peaked in late 2017, and after that, he's been on a very, very harsh decline. We haven't really seen the best from David Goffin for a long, long time. We haven't seen it this year either. But he did show some signs of life in that third set with his Rafael Nadal. He played some really blistering tennis. I think he hit 17 winners to only 4 unforced error and took a set off Nadal. Only apart from Thiem in the final, the only player to do so. So I think he's nearing his best tennis, and if he can keep it up, he's definitely one to look out for in this tournament. The price, as you say, it is a bit low, but obviously if he gets through how bad, I think he has a great shot of winning this tournament.
I totally agree there. Some interesting matches tomorrow. Tsitsipas versus Nicolas Jarry. But Tsitsipas is huge favorite there at 1.22. We can take him in straight sets 2-0 at 1.71 with Unibet. Do you think that that's a good approach for this match?
I'd play the over in games if it's under 24 games or 24, somewhere around there. I think both players here have huge service. Jarry is most known for his clay prominence. That's his favorite surface. But with that lefty serve that can reach over 200 kilometers per hour, he's always extremely dangerous. We obviously still don't know yet how Tsitsipas will react. He lost a heartbreaker, a 5-set, 5-hour thriller versus Stanislas Wawrinka in Roland Garros. He was heartbroken after that match. I'm not sure if he's recovered yet. So I wouldn't want to go in and play Tsitsipas 2-0, something like that. I'd say definitely a little bit of an upset alert here. He can have a Roland Garros hangover. So I'd either be looking to play the over or maybe even take a shot at Jarry to win the match. But as of right now, I'm passing. But that's the angles I would have gone with.
Okay, I agree there. 5-set, the best match of the tournament. All the experts are saying that. Absolutely amazing match. Not the boring Rafa Nadal versus the field, because on Roland Garros we can say Rafa Nadal versus the field and nothing else. I don't think that on Wimbledon it will be like that. I think that Federer will have great chances to win the title. Maybe Djokovic, who knows? We will see, and bet on every single round and every single day. So stay tuned, because we will cover Wimbledon as we covered Roland Garros with Will Capper, with Snice, and with great articles from Joao. Interesting match, Kukushkin versus Gasquet. Do you think that Gasquet is good for a parlay bet at 1.54?
Yeah, from what I've saw of him playing on grass in the previous round, he looked very solid. And when Gasquet is looking very solid, he is a man to bet on. Both of these, or not both of these players, but Kukushkin, I should say, hits a very, very flat stroke, which makes him dangerous on faster surfaces like grass. And Gasquet obviously has just come back from a hernia surgery he underwent in January. So it's been a long road back there for him. But he's looking to getting towards his best tennis, and definitely see him prevailing over Kukushkin there. So should be a good one to stick in an ACA.
Okay, any more good bets for this tournament in Herzogenbosch, or are we passing to the WTA right now?
No, we are continuing in Hertogenbosch. I have a bet here. It is between Adrian Manarino and Fernando Verdasco, who play tomorrow. And I've gone with Manarino to win here at 181. He hasn't had a great year. The erratic Frenchman, you really never know where you have him. But he's always a very, very dangerous player on grass. He has a 61% career win rate on the green stuff. And Verdasco has looked great on clay this year, but he is 35 years old, and this is an unfavorable surface for him in this matchup. Manarino won the only head-to-head matchup that was played on grass 2 years ago, and I like him here again. He opened as a dog, and he's now drifted into a favorite, which I think is more fair. He should be favored to win this match.
So Verdasco at even money there. If you can continue if you want, if you have any more. So, or we are going to the WTA right now.
We are done here for now. Now over to the women's side.
Okay, to the women's side. So we talked a lot about the men's side. We will talk less about the women's side, but WTA will remain in the Netherlands at Hertogenbosch. And Bertens, Kiki Bertens, you talked about her earlier, had some problems with I don't know exactly what happened. I was reading that it was gastrointestinal illness. So she was forced to retire from her second round match against Kuzmova. Now she's back in action with and she's priced at 3.25 to win the tournament. Sabalenka is out. Huge. I think that it's a huge surprise. I think that Destiny Ayava, if I'm pronouncing correct, I was watching her last year, and she was like a promising girl, you know. But after that, nothing from her in terms of results. And she won against Sabalenka. She was priced at 6.0. Absolutely insane upset there. But Sabalenka struggling mentally, like, for example, Ostapenko. I will not say at the same level with Ostapenko, but less. Maybe with, let's say, Simona Halep, a little bit struggling mentally, because Simona Halep, since she is coachless, yes, she has a coach, but I don't think that is 100% full coach. So Sabalenka, very huge upset, losing against Destiny Ayava. So right now, as I was saying, Bertens 3.25. I think that is a great bet to win the tournament.
I agree. I've been waiting a bit to see how she looked after that illness that forced her to withdraw from Roland Garros. I obviously had her to win the title there. She's been one of the standout performers this season, having a career year. This is a tournament at home. Bertens is the best player in the field. Sabalenka is now out. And looking at the draw, there's really no one else left that can challenge her. We have a bunch of Belgian players. We got Kirsten Flipkens, Alison van Uitbank, we got Griet Minnen, but in actuality, there's just no one that should challenge Bertens here. So that's a great bet. I'm going to be betting that myself. Bertens to win the title here is a great look.
Destiny Ayava losing in her second round right now against Kudermetova, 4-2 in the first set with a break from Kudermetova there. Polona Hercog versus Alison Riske. I think that this should be an interesting match. Do you have a take on this one?
Yes, I do. Alison Riske is a very good grass player. She made the quarterfinals here last year. She's won back-to-back titles on the ITF level in Surbiton, which she usually plays before this tournament. She has a 69% win record on the surface. So I think she should have too much for Herzog here, who is really better on clay than she is on grass. So I've gone ahead and parlayed her with another play that we're going to get to now in Ekaterina Alexandrova. She's gonna play Isaline Bonaventure. Neither of these two players have had a good year, but the Russian is great playing on faster surfaces. She has an amazing indoor hard record. She has, I think, 114 or 115 wins there. So that fits her very well. Neither has played a ton of matches on grass, but I think Alexandrova is the better player here. She's rightfully favored, so I've gone ahead and put her in an Aka there. She was impressive when she dispatched Mertens in straight sets as well. So that's the look I have there.
So a parlay between Alison Riske and Alexandrova, they're great value. I think that 2+. I think somewhere there.
Yeah, 2.06 you get for that.
Exactly, 2.06. Going further in Nottingham singles, WTA, very interesting tournament also there. And you said that there are the problems with the rain. Some interesting matchups. Today you won one of your bets was Harriet Dart to beat Varvara Lapko. 1.8 if I remember correct the odds. You won that bet. Great stuff. Only 2 matches tomorrow: Golubovic versus Ruse and Paquet versus Vekic. You said that you like Vekic very much in this competition, in this tournament, but I don't think that we have odds for that match. But one of the matches that we have odds for tomorrow is Golubovic versus the Romanian Gabriela Ruse. I think that Golubovic is priced at around 1.15 or 1.2. I think that we should see a straight set win from Golubovic there if rain will not affect the mental of the players. What do you think?
Yeah, she's obviously a big favorite there. She plays a great one-handed backhand. Nice player. She came through in her match versus Samsova today. No disrespect to Rusa, she beat Evgeny Rodinash, and she's been terrible all year, so I don't really give her that much credit for that win. Should be a big golf in class here for her, and I expect Golubovic to win easily. So yeah, straight sets, money line, just a good poly piece. I don't know exactly how high odds you can get. Let me see if I can find that.
It's a shame that we don't have future markets for this Nottingham. I think that the bookies are very scared with these rain delays and with these weather problems in Nottingham, because I was interested to see how much Maria Sakkari is priced to win the tournament. Maria Sakkari struggled in Roland Garros, but I think that she lost against in the second round against Siniakova, if I remember correct, 2-1 at sets. But I see her very, very determined to win something. Do you think that she's around 3.5 there?
Is she around 3.5 to win the tournament? Because I can't see prices for the tournament right now. Sorry?
I'm just asking you if you think that she's around 3.5. If you have any bookies that are offering that future markets.
From the books I have in front of me right now, I can't see any futures on this tournament. They're obviously playing right now, so I think all markets are closed until later tonight. I would say that we haven't really seen much from Sakkari on really, really fast surfaces. She hasn't played much indoors. She hasn't played that much on grass. Obviously, a humongous disappointment in Roland Garros. She was looking like cruising. I thought she was going to take home that game versus Siniakova and go far. She will definitely, no doubt, will want to bounce back here. So she should go deep. But the looks I have here for this tournament are Donna Vekic and Caroline Garcia. Those are the 2 players I like here. Vekic, she won it in 2017. Caroline Garcia is the #1 seed. Very, very dangerous player when on form. Both of these players handle the grass well. They handle indoor hard. for that matter, pretty well as well, because it's just we don't know what surface it's going to be played at. So the experienced players, the players that are in good form, the top players definitely have a big advantage there, because I can imagine it must be quite anxious for the players not to know which surfaces they're going to play on. Up until now, it's been outdoor hard court, but obviously it's a grass tournament, so who knows if they might switch should the weather get better. So yeah, definitely. Vekic, I think she was 7, priced at 7 before the tournament started. That was a nice price. I'm not sure what she's going to open at now, but she would be my top look for that. Vekic and Garcia, I would play them both.
Okay, that's wonderful. Great insights, like always, from Snice. Do you have a favorite bet? Because mine is Bertens to win Herzogenbosch at 3.5. Do you have something similar? Do you have a match? Do you have a parlay for us? Your favorite bet before we let you go.
I would definitely chime in with you there on that Bertens future. That is a fantastic look, fantastic price. I don't see anyone that could stand in her way in her conquest to winning this tournament. So that is a fantastic look. So definitely be playing that. As for the bets in general, my favorite here would be Dustin Brown, the over there, over 23.5 games. You can get that at 2.02. Like I've discussed, he has a huge serve and is fantastic at the net. You should actually just search on YouTube for some of his highlights, because he is a showman. He can do some crazy stuff on the court there. I think Zverev will struggle. He'll have a tough one. Not sure if he'll be able to win, but I don't see this being a quick match. So that's my favorite bet for tomorrow's action.
I was great insights and great bets. I was trying to remember Dustin Brown versus Gael Monfils. I think that they played some years ago. I think that on clay it was somewhere. I was watching the match live on TV, and the two showmen's incredible stuff from both. Yeah, absolutely amazing from Dustin Brown, the showman. Thank you for everything, nice, and we will see you next week for the next tournaments, and of course more for the Wimbledon, like we did for the Roland Garros. Great talking to you, and best of luck with your best there.
Thank you for having me. Have a nice night, guys.
Thank you. So right now we are going to Moto GP, and our man here, Eric from Oblivion Sports, is with us. Catalan GP this Sunday, Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya. What's up, Eric? Nice to see you.
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm good. I'm replacing Natalie. I hope that I'm doing a great job. I will see it on my salary. But till that time, let's talk about some moto action here. I was looking. By the way, the Italian GP, huge surprise. Danilo Petrucci winning, Marquez second, Dovizioso third. What do you say about that?
The race of the year, man. The race of the year. We expected something like this for the Italian GP, because it's just one of them crazy race, and Petrucci came up with the goods. Yeah, he was his heart and soul was in it to get the win, and he got it.
How are the rankings showing right now? How are they looking? I suspect Marc Marquez is first, right?
The overall championship.
Yeah, the overall. Yes.
Yeah, he's first by 12 points or 13 points. He's on only Marquez is on 115 and Dovizioso is on 103.
Okay, not a huge difference after how many races we had? 5 or 6? I think that 6 races
or 5,
we had.
5.
Yes. No, I think that we had 6 races. It was Qatar, Argentina, Americas, the Spanish GP, the French GP, and the Italian GP.
Italian, yeah. So 7. We're going on to 7.
Yeah.
I was actually just talking to someone earlier, and we were just saying Marquez only has a 13 point lead, and in the outright market, he's 1-12 to win the championship, which is crazy.
That's a no bet. That's a no bet if you ask me.
No.
Also, I was looking the odds for the Catalan GP here. He is huge favorite again, of course, 1.9, followed by Andrea Dovizioso, 4.5, and Danilo Petrucci back at 7 with Valentino Rossi at 8. After that, one of your favorite, Alex Rins at 15, Maverick Vinales at 17, and after that, huge drop, 23, 25 for the rest. With the biggest odds for Abraham Karel at 2001. Anyway,
keep your
what
money.
is
Keep
your
your
take?
money.
How you will? What's your preview about this Moto GP? I don't know much about this sport. This is why I'm always following your lead. Tell us more about the circuit, the Catalan, the Barcelona circuit.
Yeah, the Catalan circuit always brings up a few surprises, just like the last track, Mugello. Marc Marquez, as everyone knows, if you've been following us this season, he's dominant. He's won the championship 5 of the last 6 years, but he's only won in this track once, which is a bit of a shock for anyone that's looking at the sport. The one thing I like is Ducati have won on this track the last 2 years. I don't really actually see this as a Ducati kind of track. I don't know. There is a long straight, and the Ducatis are fairly quick on the straights, as we know. But that I just can't see that. How's that a factor to make? That there's 1-2 years in a row here. So there's definitely something more going on. Maybe Marquez just does not like this track.
Hopefully he will not like this track because we want to win some good bets here. From six races, he won 3 of them. So that means that the others have potential. And if you think betting the next 2, for example, Dovizioso and Petrucci, you can get 4.5 and 7. So if Marquez will not win, that is money in the bank for us.
That is money in the bank, and I don't fancy Marquez again this weekend, so I don't. I'm looking at because this track throws up a few surprises every now and again. Like we had Lorenzo win it last year. I know he was on Ducati. Rossi even won it 3 years ago, and poor Rossi's been on the decline for the last 4 years. He even got a win here, so anyone can win it here. So I've obviously gone with the obvious one. I've gone with the Vizioso. One unit each way, the Vizioso. But we're on Alex Rins again at 14-1, half unit each way.
Alex Rins is just 15-1. Yeah, 15 to
15-1.
14
even
to
better,
1,
even better. We're going half unit each way on Rins
half unit on that. Huh? Do you think that Valentino Rossi will make the podium this year?
Top 3. Where is he in the overall standings? He's not even he's 5th. It's hard to see.
Yeah.
It's hard to see. Yeah, it's because Alex Rins and Petrucci are looking solid, and they're both ahead of him. So it's hard to see Rossi take the podium.
You have also in between there Fabio Quartararo at 14 and also Vinales at 17 after Valentino Rossi. But who knows, if you're saying that Marc Marquez, this is not one of his favorite races, maybe the rest racers have some potential on winning this track.
They do. That's why I'm going. I always go for outsiders, but that's why I'm liking Alex Rins here. We don't know what way the Suzukis are going to perform at this track because the Suzukis are hot and cold with different tracks. they were absolutely shocking in France. It was crazy. But Alex Rins, 15-1. Anything can happen in this track. And yeah, I'm loving a bit of Alex Rins, and I'm also going to take. I think I'm going to take Quattraro half unit each way as well, just because you never know.
Do you know what is your record since the start of the season between Formula One and Moto GP?
I think after the last race we were on 24 units plus. I think. Around
so just after
that.
just after 6 races each, we are over 20 units of profit. Eric is over 24 units of profit. He's writing articles for us for Oddsmarket.com, MotoGP and Formula One. He is with us since the start of the season, and he will be with us for a long time now. So your favorite tip for Catalan GP, Eric?
Favorite tip? If I had to pick out 3 of them, I'd go with the Dovizioso win.
Dovizioso each way at 4.5 there. Yes, no take on Marc Marquez there, because 1.9 is a no take on MotoGP, as it is not take in Formula One. Just fast before I let you go, what did you think about what happened last Sunday at Formula One with Hamilton and and his so they had a problem between them, and he got a 5-minute how you say a 5 seconds penalty there, and he lost the race like that. Unbelievable. After that he replaced the number 1 with number 2 on the cars. I saw that live. So what happened there? Do you think that is fair for him to lose the race like that? It was a fair decision from the referees?
I don't think it was fair. A lot of people, the argument is that he closed off Hamilton. Hamilton was taking the inside line and he closed him off. But I don't know. It's just it doesn't seem fair, because they're racing at the end of the day. I know they don't want to cause accidents, but Hamilton wasn't hurt. He's won nearly every race in the last 2 years, and it's a sickener for Vettel to actually win the race and then come second. What do you think?
Ferrari said after the race that they will contest that decision. Do you have any information, any news from that?
No, I heard nothing. But I heard nothing from the contest that they're going to contest it. But I did hear that somebody said during the race that they can't contest it, or they won't win their appeal or something. So we'll just have to see how that plays out. I can't see them giving the win to Vettel, though. I can't see it.
Yeah, very, very bad to see that in action. Also in football, we have the VAR, which is killing football since the start of the last season. But anyway, we are talking MotoGP, and thank you very much for being with us today and sharing your insights and your best bet. See you next week for Formula One. Till then, best of luck with your bets.
Thanks very much, Alex. Enjoy the rest of the show, man.
Thank you. And finally, we have the man with the mouse in his hand, and he is always pressing the buttons there. Adam, my brother from another mother there. I cannot hear you. If I don't know what is happening, I cannot hear you. I think it's from you. Rafa, it's from us? Now I can hear you. I think that it was from us. Rafa,
see? Don't be so quick to point the finger, Alex.
Okay. I sometimes I get lucky with pointing the finger on some other people and being very right about it.
Yeah.
But anyway, we are talking esports. We are talking Counter-Strike Go. We are talking DreamHack Summer or DreamHack Open. I think that is the same thing. If you ask me, I made the research. I'm telling you, I have some good news for you. And we
Yeah.
have the DreamHack Summer. I don't know. You tell me how important it is for the teams this tournament.
Yeah, so that's always a great place to start, actually. DreamHack series of tournaments. DreamHack is an organizer that hasn't had a major or they had the DreamHack Masters tournament in Dallas a few weeks ago. That's sort of the largest tournament that they host now. They have a series called DreamHack Summer, DreamHack Winter. It's a much smaller tournament. It's 8 teams, almost always, I'm pretty sure. And it's always like 100,000 prize pool, 150. But the teams that usually attend the DreamHack Summer and Winter are usually teams that don't get to see a lot of LAN. So to these teams, it is important. It's important for their confidence, especially leading into the major, which some of these teams will be at. It's important to build the team chemistry. It's important to get some wins. I mean, these are professional Counter-Strike players, and obviously with the teams here, they're all kind of that rank 10 to 30th in the world. They're sort of, they can sometimes get big upsets over top teams, but sometimes they get upset by even worse teams. But as far as the importance of the tournament, I would say coming into it, every team here would be focused on winning it. So in case our viewers don't know, this week there was a series of European qualifiers for the major, which is kicking off in August. And so we've got teams like Avangard, Crazy, Optic is playing right now for their spot, Ancient is playing tonight for their spot. A bunch of these teams are sort of in full focus mode for these matches today. And the tournament coming up this weekend is great practice opportunity, but I think they'll still take it very seriously.
Okay, you said 2 groups, Group A and Group B, each of 4 teams. And we have Group A with Avangard, Tricked, Aristocracy, and Winstrike, and Group B with Crazy, Optic, Chaos, and Team Ancient. Let's talk about some future bets here.
Sure.
I didn't found markets for the winner of this tournament, but I found some markets for the group winners. For example, in Group A, favorites Avangard at 2.3, Aristocracy at 3, Tricked at 4, and the Winstrike at 7.0. Is there any value on playing winner of this group, or I can imagine that 2 of them will qualify in the semifinals, the first 2 in the standings there, how it's in football, or how is the format here?
Yeah, exactly. Your research paid off. I could tell already. So the winner of each group goes straight to the semifinals, as you said. So there's incentive. It's not just round robin where it's for seeding. The top 2 teams move on with first semifinal, and the bottom 2 teams are knocked out. We'll start with Group A. Avangard is the heavier favorite there. Now, I'm just going to preface this whole discussion by saying there's only 2 teams attending that I've written off entirely here. Winstrike and Chaos. Winstrike Group A, Chaos in Group B. I don't think those teams have shown, well, with Winstrike's case, they've had some unfortunate roster changes recently, and it's caused them to not even qualify for the major when they were significant, I guess, favorites to get through the CIS Russian group. So Winstrike, I don't think they're prepared. I think they're in sort of a downward spiral at the moment. They're playing Avangard in the opener. In the past, Winstrike has played Avangard very closely, but I don't think this is even those a couple of the same players, and it's like a CIS derby in a way. I don't think Winstrike will hold a what's the expression? Hold a flame to them, hold a candle, something like that. There's an expression.
Hold the candle.
Yeah. So I'm not looking for anything with Winstrike. With Chaos, they sort of have a reputation for being onliners. They have some veterans of the scene, but again, they've sort of just been underwhelming for years now, and they never really get to land. So again, until I see them doing anything impressive or that they've put in work, I'm not going to put any money on them. So those are the two teams out right away. Group A winner, I would say you either want to. I haven't placed anything yet on the tournament. I'm going to be doing that tomorrow. But you either want to go with Avangar for Group A, or you want to go with Tricked. So Avangar, I think, is going to easily beat Winstrike. Aristocracy's playing Tricked. Tricked recently knocked Aristocracy out of the major. Then Aristocracy beat them in a best of one. But I don't get why Tricked is such a big underdog here. I think I saw them. They were at Bet365. They're 2.5 against Aristocracy. So I'm going to probably wait for the map on that one.
I will tell you exactly. I have also the odds for the matchups. So Aristocracy against Tricked. Tricked at 2.24, Aristocracy at 1.55.
Okay, and I've got Bet365 here open with Tricked at 2.5 right now. So even better. I would say 2.25, 2.1 even is probably more accurate. But even if I had seen Tricked at like a 1.9, 1.8, like pick-em odds, I would say that's fair. I don't know what the deal is. Aristocracy won the Polish championship last week. I posted that play on Sunday as a dog against Virtus Pro. But Tricked is better than Virtus Pro, and they've shown that, and they've beat Aristocracy in a best of three. And I looked over the stats; they were very even. The gun rounds, they were outplayed. So I like Aristocracy. I think there's potential for them to go to the semifinals or finals here, but I don't think the price here is justified at all. So I'm going to be looking for Tricked in that opening match. So going back to the Group A winner, you either go with Avangar here to win their two best of ones, or you go with Tricked, because Tricked has considerable more value than Aristocracy. I have Pinnacle. What's your best price for Tricked to win Group A? I have them 5.1 at Pinnacle. I think that was the best one I've seen.
4.0 I have right now in front of me. But yeah, 5.1
I still like the 4.0. But for Group A, you either play Avangar or Tricked here. So I think I'm doing an article for that tomorrow. So I'll definitely post if I'm on anything. And then Group B.
So also before that, also Avangar are playing Winstrike in their first match, but they are priced at just at 1.25 to win the match. I couldn't find any markets for 2-0, for example, straight win there. Do you think that it should be around 1.7 there?
For them to win the group, Avangar?
No, for them to win 2-0 against the Winstrike. It's 2.
Oh, it's just a best of one.
2 from 3 maps.
No, just one map.
Just one map. Oh,
yeah.
This is why.
So typically in best of ones, there's more. Yeah, there's more value with the underdog. Winstrike, again, they probably put a bit of work into a few maps. They could but I mean, we saw them today or yesterday lose a best of 5 to Fours, who Avangar has beaten multiple times. Fours beat them 16-0. I think it was it Overpass? Looking it up here right now. It was terrible result for Winstrike. I mean, they just look awful. They lost 3-0, 16-0 on Nuke, and 16-6 on Mirage. They were kind of close on Dust too, but Winstrike, I just don't think there's value even on them as a big dog here, even in a best of one. So you want to play, if you don't like the spread number on Avantgarde, we're still waiting for some books to open lines. Bet365 has it at 5.5 rounds. But I think if you're going with Avantgarde to dominate win strike, you might as well just take Avantgarde to win the group, or take a team like Tricked, who is at 4 to 5 everywhere to win the group, because they should be probably closer to a 3.
Yeah. The value is on the group winner and on the underdog there. Group B, Crazy, 1.9, Optic, 2.9, Team Ancient, 6.5, Chaos at 9.0. You mentioned Optic. They are losing to Sprout GG right now.
1-1.
1-1, but map 3, it's 3-0 for Sprout GG.
That's just the pistol though. We don't pistol rounds are like it's like who gets the first basket in basketball.
I'm watching it live. Optic are priced right now live at 2.67. Sprout GG are priced at 1.45 to win that match. And I can tell you also how much money they have. But I have to look more deeper into it. So
CSGO, Alex, is a game of 2 halves, and I wrote about this in one of the articles. You just cannot, we see teams come back from 8-0 all the time, or 14-8 or whatever. And it's like with tennis, women's tennis, like I was talking to you the other day, 5-0 up in the first set. Barty loses 7-6 in the tie break, down 3-0 second set, wins 6-3, that is Counter-Strike. It is very tilting because you see teams lose huge leads. It's fun to watch when you're on the right side, but it can be very annoying.
Yeah, it's 4-0 right now for Sprout GG. So
I
don't know what is happening with Optic.
You get the pistol, Alex. You get the pistol. Then you have the economy bonus. So you get to buy better weapons in the second round. The other team tries to beat you on the second round. They buy slightly worse weapons. If they lose that, then they have to eco. So they have to play with just pistols. So that's 3 rounds right there, just because you won the first round. Then the fourth round comes in. You have better guns again because you had the better economy. So until the economies aren't even until the 5th round, really. So it's very hard for a team to. They have to manage their economy. Sometimes they have to play more conservatively and give rounds away in order to come back later in the match. Because if you buy every round, you'll not have the economy later in the game to win rounds. So anyways, Group B. Go ahead.
Sprout is at 25,000 and Optic was around 7,000 in terms of money.
That's what I'm saying. So exactly. That's the value of their weaponry. So, but honestly, Dust 2 is very even as long as Optic gets 6-7 rounds here on their CT side. I think they'll have a good chance to win. So. But going back to their Optics playing this weekend, like you said. Look, now it's going to be 4-1, just like that. Should we do some live betting?
Let's do a special show with live betting then. So going back to DreamHack Summer, winner of Group B, Crazy, Optic, Chaos, Team Ancient.
Yeah. So same thing here. I think Optic is overvalued. I already mentioned forget about Chaos. There's nothing until we see them play well. Just forget about him. So I'm either going to be playing Crazy to win Group B, or Ancient to win Group B. Ancient, until this week, until I saw them at the major qualifiers, I was thinking they were a team like Chaos, Swedish as well, but full of potential talent, but they just didn't have the right leadership. They didn't put in the time to run the strategies correctly. They were constantly a team that would get players. So not Ancient, but some of these players on Ancient have been with teams that had potential in the past, and then their players would get picked up by the Ninjas in Pajamas or Fnatic or other quality organizations that can pay more money. So just like you see in football. So
So
with Ancient,
what I wanted to ask you that don't pass on that subject yet. Yes, I heard you before that transfers are happening between teams. How are these transfers happening? A team is paying another team to buy a player from them?
So there are buyouts. Like I think 2 years ago there was Nico, who was with Mouse Sports. The rumor was that his contract was bought out for, I think it was 500,000 or 200. I don't know. I forget the number what it was, but it was the biggest one at the time for esports. But typically what happens is players will be on 3 or 6 month contracts, or they will just be on a trial, and then they'll either get dropped or benched, and then the team will release them to go to sort of free agency so another team can pick them up. Trades don't really happen that often. I mean, one happened last week with Winstrike and Nadas Vincer, where Edward, who is one of the oldest veterans on the team, was sort of traded to a shitty team right before, they entered their major qualifiers, and that team got knocked out within 1 week of the major qualifiers. So he was on a top 5 team in the world, thinking he's going to probably play in the major in August with them, gets traded, and a week later now it's not that he's out of work, but it's sort of like this is the way older players end up sort of retiring because the newer, younger, talented players are coming into their teams.
Okay, I totally understand. So going back to DreamHack Summer Group B there, so do you think that the best value bet there is to take Team Ancient at 6.5 to win the group?
Ancient, because they're playing tonight, but Ancient looked very good against North yesterday, against Windigo the day before, and like if you just go through their past matches, they have just been winning recently. They are a bit focused right now, and this is when we want to catch teams as they're rising. And to be honest, the talent disparity. So they're playing crazy in the opening match. The disparity between these two teams is not that great. I think the power of Crazy. Crazy is such a stupid name. They were previously called Valiance. Last week, the owner of Valiance, I think, wanted to change their name because it didn't really reflect his, I don't know, his personality or the players' vision. I don't know. He changed it to Crazy, and everybody's been mocking them. Anyway, but the roster of Crazy has been together for much longer, and so they're justifiably the favorite. But it's too heavy here. If Ancient, remember this is a Swedish tournament, if Ancient comes in prepared, taking it seriously, then the value is completely on them. So I saw them at 6 at Pinnacle. I don't know if you found a better price than that to win Group B.
6.5. 6.5.
See, I really like that.
6.5, and they have the head-to-head. They have the head-to-head with Crazy, and they're priced at 3.1 to win that match against Crazy.
Against Crazy, what I'll do is I'll probably take a +4.5 there on round differential. I think the 3.0, 3.2, 3.5, I think those are all, I mean, I haven't looked at any of the numbers yet, but I think a ballpark figure between 3.0 and 3.5 is fair. If I see a 4, I will jump on that money line because that would be ludicrous. But then they will play the winners of Optic Chaos. Should be Optic, but Chaos could beat them in a best of one, certainly. So if Ancient goes through against Optic or Chaos, we'll have a hedge opportunity if needed. With 6, that should be around a 4, in my opinion, with what we've seen from Ancient this week.
Okay, that's absolutely brilliant. Going with the underdogs, going with the value. Adam will write an article about this tournament tomorrow. So check oddsmarket.com for more information, more insights, because he is going to make some great research as usual for everything that he is writing. So stay with us. We will be back next week with plenty of football, tennis, and other sports, esports, golf, I don't know, snooker, you name it, UFC, we have it. We had cricket, we have everything. So thank you for joining us. Thank you, Adam, for being with us today, and see you next week. Best of luck with your bets.
Take care, buddy. See ya.